It's Renee here. Oh, I have a bit of a funny story. You guys can laugh at me because I'm laughing at myself. So I did the video the other day on doing a demonstration of this gathering foot. Can you see it? I'll just sit it right here. Anyway, I just had a lady tell me that I had it on backwards. So I went and looked because I was like, but it has the little doohickeys, the little prongs right here. And, you know, I was thinking that's where the front of the foot would go. I did have it on backwards. And it just cracked me up when I was telling my kids about it. I said, oh, good God. I'm sitting here going, I'm learning so much about my new sewing machine. And I did it wrong. So I'm going to do an example now, just in case somebody doesn't know of how to use this foot correctly. And if I'd have looked at it, I would have known, because the little slot for putting the straight piece of fabric is on this side, and I had this sucker turned like out. But it worked. I mean, that, you know, it wouldn't probably not have worked if I have to take this off to do this. I can't do it on the foot. But it worked. It gathered the fabric, but it would not have worked if I had tried to put another piece of fabric in there. So I'm an idiot, y'all. Yeah, I know. Shut up, Daisy. You don't get to say anything because you don't even sew. So anyway, the proper way to put this foot on would be with these little prongs, or whatever you call them, facing backwards. So it should look something like that. See, I told you guys I'm learning too. I never used any of the accessories really on my sewing machines. I just did straight stitch and zigzag, and that was it. But anyway, okay, so you have to feed it through the back of those little prongs, and I can see now there's like a little raised piece in there. But anyway, we're going to see if it gathers as good as it did when I had it on backwards. Can't be mad, can't kill the messenger in a case like that. She was right, and if she'd never told me, I would have eventually figured it out when I went to go sew something where I wanted to join two fabrics together, right? Hopefully. So let's see how this does. I am going to crank up my stitch length to 6, and got this. Got the fabric about 1/4 inch away from the edge, the foot 1/4 inch away from the edge of the fabric. I'm going to leave the presser foot pressure just a little over the 6 I'm turning it to. That's the nice thing about this new machine too that I figured out. You can change the pressure of the presser foot, which is, you know, comes in handy for a lot of different things. But anyway, let's try this again. Yeah, even better almost. So then see with that slot there, which, man, if I'd have showed that in that video and I would have thought about it, I would have realized I had it on backwards. But anyway, that's it on the 6, on the highest, longest stitch length. I'm going to turn it down to about 5 and see what kind of gather I get. Still about the same. Margie said something. Margie, what was it you said about your hand on the back of it? I don't know. I'm pulling it. I'm afraid I'd pull the thread out. Alright, now let's turn it down to about a 3.5 and see what we get there. Little less gather. I like that one. That would be good for an apron that I want to do a video on. Let's try 2.5. And then let's try 1.5, and I won't go down any further than that. Okay. So you can see, actually, it does work better when it's on right. I see a lot of difference in this. sad, y'all. I was probably really sleepy that day too, because I have not been getting much sleep since I got the sewing machine. But you can see what it does. That's it. And it's on correctly right now. So you see, you would, I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me zoom in a little bit. So you would bring the ankle part from behind and snap it on. And this one actually has a little bit of a extended groove, I guess, to hold the ankle, keep it from swinging. But, does that work? So that is how you would have it on correctly, and you would be able to see, if you weren't in a bitch ass hurry like me and just snap it on there and not paying any attention, you'll see that slot for feeding the fabric. And what it would do is, when you got this feeding through the bottom here, you would take your other piece of fabric and feed it through that slit that's in the foot, and it would sew straight, and it would the fabric on the bottom will gather. So I've got you close up. Let's look at this and see how it gathers. I think this is really neat. I never explored enough of my sewing machines when I started learning to sew. I just wanted to learn to sew, and I am really appreciative of having a machine that I enjoy exploring. I mean, it's something really different. And I think I got the thread caught in there, yeah. But yeah, it's really different to find out that your machine can do so many neat things, and to have a machine of this quality, I had the desire to learn everything about it. So Lee, I think was your name. I really appreciate you telling me that, because I'm learning too, and it's good to learn from somebody who knows. And I just, I looked it up. I found a manual that was a machine similar to this one and looked it up, and didn't even go back and pay any attention. I should have printed out the page, because then I would have known. But I'm sure I would have found out eventually and felt like an idiot. But anyway, better late than never. So that's what you get with a gathering foot, guys. It is a lot different than a ruffling foot. Ruffles kind of tuck, and it's hard to explain. It's just really different. But this is good for, you can use it for almost the same purposes. You're just going to get a little bit of a different look. So I may do an apron video soon. I've got an apron I've been wanting to work on, and now that I know what this foot can do, and I know how to put it on right, and I know how to use it, I'll be able to do that ruffle, gather in the apron without having to sew in 2 strings and then pull them. And I mean, that is so aggravating, because you can never get it right. But with this, you've got a pretty even gather, and you can use it for the purpose that it's needed for. So that's it, guys. I'm so sorry about the first video. My bad. Peace, y'all. Bye-bye.